we can keep going unless I can actually hear you. There we go. Let's turn the lights up now, all the way to the back. That's what I'm fucking talking about. You guys right here, you should turn around and look at that shit. Okay, so what are we going to talk about tonight? First of all, I have one thing I want to talk about. In 1976, I was a teenager and I was living in Seattle, Washington. And I got busted at a Rolling Stones concert selling drugs. So I had to go to Los Angeles, and that's this part of the story I want to share with you, because if anything in this story didn't happen exactly the way I'm going to tell you, none of us would actually be here tonight. You guys wouldn't have gotten in your cars and got fucked up and come here. We wouldn't have written all these songs and be standing here, and we probably wouldn't have fucked over 100,000 chicks. Not that we're counting. So this is how it happened. In 1980, I was in Los Angeles, and I was a struggling musician, and I had this band, London, and I remember being in band rehearsal, and I looked over, and I thought, you guys suck. And I was thinking, there has to be someone else in this city that wants to fucking destroy, just wants to rip and fucking tear and die for rock and roll. But the problem was, at that time, it was a thing called New Wave. All the bands had skinny ties and short hair, and to be honest with you, well, it just sucked. So I set out on a journey. I quit that band to find my brothers. And I went to Santa Monica Boulevard to a club called the Starwood, and I walked in, and on that stage was a fucking drummer that was just pounding the shit out of those goddamn drums. I went backstage to talk to that guy, and he was wearing girls' spandex pants. That's Tommy Lee. I just saw him backstage. He was wearing the same girl's spandex pants, by the way. So me and Tommy sit there on the floor. I was drinking a rum and coke, and he was drinking 2 beers, and we talked about how we loved punk rock, and how we loved heavy metal, and how we loved these great bands that came out of the 70s that it didn't seem like they were alive anymore. They were dying, and we loved it, and we wanted to be it. And we said, let's start a band. So we went to this house that I was living in North Hollywood, California. I was living with this girl, and I can't remember her name, and that also became a theme for Motley Crue. And we started playing bass and drums, Live Wire, Take Me to the Top, Starry Eyes, On with the Show. Fuck, what else was on that? Public Enemy #1. So we were playing, but we needed a guitar player. So unfortunately, all the guitar players were in the new wave bands, and me and Tommy looked at each other one day, and we said, we're fucked. And then we picked up the Recycler magazine, and there was an ad, and it said, loud, rude, aggressive guitarist, call me if you're serious, Mick fucking Mars. Look at that motherfucker. And when he walked up to the door, for you musicians out there, he had a roadie already, and he had a Marshall fucking stack. That's because he just wanted to be loud. So now you've got Tommy, Nikki, and Mick in this girl's house, and we're playing these songs, but we're missing the element that's going to seal the deal, the lead singer. And Tommy said, I know a guy, but he's in another band. So we got in Tommy's van, and we went back to the Starwood, and we saw this guy, and he walked out on stage. He had white leather pants on, a white leather jacket, fucking long white hair, and the most unique fucking voice. And I looked at him, and I looked at the guys, and all the girls were taking their pussies out of their pants and throwing on him. And we said, that's it! We're gonna form a band, that's our singer, that's Vince Neil! So, this is how it happened. We went to Burbank, California. We took our money and we got a rehearsal room for one day. One fucking day. That's all the money we had. And we had this idea. And I handed Vince the lyrics to Livewire. And Mick ripped into the fucking riff. And Tommy started smashing those drums. I picked up the fucking bass and started playing the shit out of it. And that goddamn moment, January 17th, 1981, Motley Crue was born, motherfucker! And that is why we're all here tonight. We fucking love you. Let's make some goddamn rap.